Hello and welcome to another episode of the University Dwell podcast, where we talk about university life and more. Today I have with me a very special guest, and I'm going to allow her introduce herself and tell us a bit about what she does. Hi.
Hi, Mariam Keji. My name is Oshiru Metse, but everybody can call me Etse. I'm a product designer. I have been designing for 5 years. My university degree is in human-computer interaction from Brunel University.
From where?
Brunel University.
Okay, yeah. No, I definitely knew you didn't study that here. So sorry to us here, but talk to me a bit about that course and what it is about.
So it's kind of like a combination of a lot of tech courses. So you find people that study the course end up becoming UX designers, UI designers, business analysis, software engineers, and the like.
So were you always tech inclined? Were you always science STEM inclined?
So when I was a kid, whenever I was asked, the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always said I wanted to become an accountant. But then I realized I didn't like counting anything. So I looked around and I decided, what else do I like? And my dad used to own a cyber cafe. So I just thought, I like computers. So let me just go into that field. So I actually started out in computer science. I didn't really enjoy that, so I branched out to human-computer interaction.
Wow, shout out to your dad. Yeah. I can't remember, do cyber cafes still exist?
They actually do still exist. Yeah, well.
No,
we have phones.
Yeah, we have phones, so you have maybe if you want to print something.
Exactly.
So today we want to talk about building a portfolio in school, if you think it's crucial for career success or it's an unfair requirement. So I'm a student. They sent me to school to learn. Yeah. And I went to school and I went to go and learn.
Yeah.
And I'll come out. So I go from graduate to unemployed. Mm-hmm. And then I come out and I'm trying to get a job. And everybody's like, where's your experience? And I'm like, that's why I'm here.
Exactly.
Like, that is why I'm here. So I want you to, first of all, talk to me. What do you believe a portfolio to be? And do you think that it is unfair to be asking, like, fresh graduates for one?
So I'm a designer. A portfolio is basically a record of the work that you've created, right? So basically they use it to judge your knowledge and your contributions to the world. In a nutshell, in my opinion, I think it's unfair to require that of students who are just coming out of school. So these days you hear a lot, people say, what happened to entry-level jobs? You come out and people are asking for 3 years, 2 years experience to do a job that
it's entry-level and they want to pay you entry-level money.
Exactly. So I think it's an unfair requirement for students. Okay. People just leaving the university.
Okay. So I hear you that you think it's unfair, but would you advise students, for example, to have part-time jobs, internships, or so, like, let's say I'm studying what you studied, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a job that you got, but like on your own, this is what I created, and so that by the time I'm entering like the interview room, I may not have like the formal training that you require, but you can see that I have a keen interest because I've gone out of my way to either do it for free or do it on my own time, or even found a way to hustle a side job in that.
Yeah, 100%. Like, entering into the job market, you always want to give yourself a leg up, right? So what makes me better than the next person? And usually for companies, they want to see that you can show interest in the field that they are specialized in. So whether it's a formal job or an internship, or you just learning on your own off YouTube or any other free learning resources, it's always a great idea and something I would definitely advise 100%.
Absolutely. So for example, in the creative industry, which I work in, I find that many creatives have an issue understanding what it is that their portfolio is and how to create it. So it's like, I do stuff, but like I've not done anything. And I'm like, anything that you've ever in any tiny little way contributed to is part of your portfolio. And so how would you advise that people are able to identify what can enter their portfolio and how they can build it in the sense of even presenting it on what it should look like?
Yeah, so your portfolio is always for a specific thing, right? So, for example, you want to become a software engineer. You're applying to software engineer, to a company that has a software engineering team that specializes in maybe artificial intelligence, for example, you want to tailor your experience or your
To them.
portfolio to fit the company that you're applying for. You're not just going to create something based off just regular engineering that has nothing to do with AI, right?
Yeah.
Now, that would be slightly different for entry-level candidates, somebody just leaving the university. You may not have had the chance to work in a company that has AI, but there's some specific skills that your other experience...
Yes, transferable.
Yes, exactly, transferable skills, right? So you also want to highlight those in your portfolio. So just make sure that there is a good match between what the company, because they always post their the requirements for the position, right? Go through it in detail and look for, okay, what are the line by line, what are the things that they've highlighted that I actually do possess and I learned from my previous roles or from my internship or during class. Yeah.
Okay, I see that. So 2 questions. The first one is, as much as we say yes, it is an unfair thing to ask a fresh graduate to bring a portfolio. For, let's say, for every one job that I advertise for, I get 10 people who apply, and out of that 10, 8 of them do have a portfolio. Would you then say that although it is unfair, you might as well just get with the program?
Yeah. You have to always give yourself a leg up. And the way the world is these days, like you said, there's a crazy number of people applying for one role. You want to always do whatever you can to be the best person in the room, right? But on the other side, I will also advise companies to, like, so for example, because of the economic disparity in Nigeria, it's not always going to be possible for certain people to have certain skills, right? Or, for example, I'm a designer. Somebody from a less privileged background may not have had access to a computer, which is very important to designing, right? So we are going to further widen the economic disparity if you don't allow people that have not had access to these tools gain access to the job. So that would be my advice for businesses. But for individuals, do whatever you can. Even if you don't have access to a computer, do you have a friend that has access? Do you have a phone that you can use to still learn, right? So yeah.
So what if, you know what, I just watched this podcast and I'm 2 minutes away from graduating from school, and guess what? I don't have a portfolio. What would you advise is that person's method to navigating the job market?
So first, one of the best things about the world we live in now is that you have a lot of resources at your fingertips for free, sort of, right? You can learn a lot on YouTube without anything, or you can go to, like, even schools like Harvard and all of those, they have free courses for you to learn. So you start there, you see, okay, this is the role I want to apply for, this is what I'm interested in, what can I learn, right? You learn as much as you can. You put it, for example, a lot of people go to church. You go to church and you see that your church does not have a website. Build a website. Yeah, that's something to add to your portfolio. Or your mom has a shop, or your dad has a small company he's doing on the side. Apply yourself in a certain way so that you always have proof of your work. Yes, I know I said that I think it's an unfair requirements, but you also have to play the game that is being played.
Yeah, but I think also what I'm hearing as well is volunteering and putting yourself out there to do stuff. To do stuff. I think it's really great. I think for me, one of my struggles has been how to articulate what I do in a way that's like strategic. Yeah. I think a lot of people struggle with that, like how to, so for example, I've done a lot of stuff in marketing, and it plays back to understanding who you're applying to and what their specific needs are. I've done a lot of stuff in marketing. So for example, if someone like an MTN says, oh, hey, we need you to do marketing for us, a lot of the things that I've done in marketing, maybe music videos and whatnot, I need to find a way to engineer those experiences and tailor it in a way where I can present it and say, hey, although this may not be exactly what you're looking for, the skills that I used to do this are transferable to what you're looking for. And even this diversity that I have gives like a new insight into what you're doing. So I think it also plays back to the ability to sell yourself. And to package yourself and to sell yourself. And I hope that people are able to learn that. Thank you so much, Este. This was such a cute conversation.
Thank you very much.
This was such a very cute conversation, and I wish you all the best in all your endeavors.
You too.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Me.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
and that is all on this episode of the University Dual Podcast. See you next time.